Hi, my name is Andrew Kinney. I'm an attorney at Hogan Law Offices. My focus area, my practice is Social Security Disability. I've done this work 20 years plus. I might show it. My director a moment ago saw that I wrote for Social Security 101 this number. We call it 12.09. This isn't a math class, don't worry. What I want to do in these classes is describe Social Security disability claims process. And today I'm going to talk about what's called a listing. Listings are a way for Social Security to define certain impairments. For instance, if someone has a heart problem that is measurably bad enough, a cardiac listing will define them as disabled. Now, not everyone meets the criteria of a listing. In fact, some problems aren't really defined, like migraines. A state agency person recently said they like to analogize migraines to seizures, and they look under a seizure listing, but they don't. Listings are at least a way of getting approved. As I mentioned to a client recently, a direct way. There's one way to be approved is you are defined as disabled, meeting certain criteria. For instance, there's a low back listing called 1.04. 1.04, that listing is under the Musculoskeletal Listings. The listings or definitions are divided by parts of your body, physically and also emotionally, or the different areas. Under the Musculoskeletal Listings for Social Security, which you can look up in the computer, 1.04 talks about your spine, your cervical spine, thoracic spine, and lumbar spine. If, for instance, you have a lower back problem, let's say a fusion failed, and you have a leg issue, which is classic problems stemming from a low back. Let's say there's a nerve root that leaves your spinal cord that's pinched by a herniated disc that isn't fixed, and that leg's numb. If you are going to a doctor, they confirm this impingement of this nerve root by MRI or X-ray, but usually MRI, and they lift your leg, and there are objective signs on exam that you have a straight leg raising test that's positive, and you have sensory loss in the leg. You can meet, the idea is that you meet a listing. All that means in Social Security terminology is that the elements are met. A doctor at a hearing can do what's called equal a listing, close counts. I'm going to talk about listings, but you can look them up. But the idea here is that there's one listing that if you meet it, you lose. And that is 1209. Under the mental health listings, 12.0, you have organic mental impairments, 12.02, depression, affective disorder, 12.04, 12.06 is anxiety, 12.09 is substance addiction disorders, or chemical dependency. What Social Security has done since about 97, I was in practice already, is they decided they're not going to pay people if they're addicted to chemicals. They're addicted to their alcohol, or they're addicted to drugs, either prescription or illegal. It makes fundamental sense that if the disability is from that shouldn't be paid. With all that said and done, 1209, if you meet the listing criteria for 1209, you lose. What do you do about it? Well, there is a recent ruling. Social Security has rulings for judges and Social Security generally, 13.2-2P. What that ruling says is, we understand that people have substance addiction disorders or drug addiction disorders. What we have is, this is how we're going to decide that it's material. There's a legal term. If the chemical dependency is material to your disability, you lose based on that disability. One thing that they're vague about is that the DSM-5, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual, version 5 that was out, I think May of last year, that defines some substance-induced problems, mental illness. Social Security looks for them that don't exist, so they create impairments that aren't there. So there is some dispute about that, but the gist is if you have chemical dependency issues, you can lose if you also currently have a substance addiction disorder or problem with abusing drugs. Get clean, get sober, go to a treatment. We tell people they need to sober up, and it's easier said than done. But if they have depression or anxiety and alcoholism and it's active, we can't help them. It's going to be very difficult to prove underneath how bad the underlying disorder is. So the basic idea is that there are listings that define disability. It's not the only way to be approved, but You also can be denied based on just this one listing. If there are any other questions you have about listings or Social Security in general, feel free to call us at the number at the bottom of our screen. Thank you.